Okay, I will move on to the next question. Okay, right. So with regards to the job position for a copywriter, I'd like to know how would you handle a situation if you have a different demographic for readers?
So, if my may, so as you asked a question about different demographics. So I think as a writer, we need to do our research. When we write, we always have to do our research. So for me, my strong focal point is research writing. So for me to write something, I have to look into various points of views, which also include demographics. So in order to write for a demographic, I have to look into what are their interests, what consists of information, age, what their viewpoints are, what are their disinterests. I have to know what they're like and dislike in order for me to write. Only then, once I have done my research, only then can I write for the demographic that you wanted. Let's say I am specializing in something on creative writing for marketing, but I have to market for it. I actually have a business, so I am used to writing for a business marketing, but maybe I need to write a content instead for an IT. So in order for me to start my writing for that, I have to know the demographic. So I have to make connections. I would have to ask someone who specializes in that field in order to give a good information, because when I write, I have to have a purpose. So to know that purpose, I have to do my research, and I will look into people who are specialized into it and ask them to proofread and see if my content are what they wanted and bring it up to my superiors, because I have to align my writing to their interests because they are my clients. So that is how I would conduct my self if I have to approach a different demographic, which I am not used to. Thank you.
Thank you. Very thoughtful.
May I go next? Okay, so for me personally, I think it matters when it comes to writing. Writing is not just about, you write whatever you want and you write based on passion. Yes, you can do that. But in this, when it comes to writing something, even when you want to write a fiction or you want to write a story, whatever it is, you need that what do you say, you need that foundation, the basic knowledge of what's going on, even especially when you write for movies as well. You need maybe the historical knowledge behind it or the political knowledge behind it before you can make something or produce something that can be considered as a content. And as said also, is that you need people whose expertise in this particular field to look at your work, whether it is let's just say historically correct or not. And I think research really do matters, and you need to read a lot, talk to people a lot, expand your knowledge, because knowledge is limitless and it's everywhere. It's up to you whether you want to know about it or not. So I think that is how I would do it for writing for different people of different demographic views. Thank you.
Can I go next? So when it comes to the demographics for readability, it boils down to two specific reasons why. For my reason being, we should research more, and that reason because when we want to write a book, and we want to add resources, it all comes down for researching, because citations and resources, when we provide the book, it makes our book or our works much more persuasive for a specific audience or demographics. And also because it's certainly because we don't know enough. So it's important to research and to learn and make the book much more complete.
Hold on. I get the feeling that the two candidates previously has deviated from the intention of the question. I was talking about copywriting for advertising and media for distribution and how we look at the demographic, not into book writing and not into play production. Can we focus more on that? Thank you.
May I try? All right, the first thing to answer the question is, I think beside gathering resources, we have to run a survey to target which genres or which thing that entails the customers, basically. So after gathering questionnaire, we will get data analysis. And by using the data analysis, we can pinpoint which demographics or genre or creativity or artwork that attracts these certain demographics. By gathering resources, other than gathering resources, we could do an interview, walk-in interview or online interview. Other than that, we could also use other books or other resources to cite from other resources. And then we could also, after cite those resources and interview people, we could also see other campaign, organization, or any sponsorship that we can use to target that specific demographics. That's all from me.
Interesting phenomenon. Any of the candidates who would like to try? Yes, please.
Yes, I would like to. Okay, thank you for the question. All right. I believe that when you work in the copywriting field, there are times where you need to write for advertisement for different demographic, because I believe as for advertisement, there's always the need to have it for everybody. So if I were to be in the situation where I have to deal with writing for marketing, for advertisement, for a certain group of demographic that I'm not used to, is first and foremost is of course to do a research. I believe that research is the very foundations to do some things that you're not used to. So in my personal point of view, if I were to be in that situation, first and foremost, I would reapply back what I did when I was a student, which is either diploma or degree, when we did a research for papers. So first of all, when we did a research of papers, you can either do a face-to-face interview, or you can distribute a questionnaire to know about the demographic, anything that is approved by the company. So next would be, I would personally I would either work independently to know more about this area, or I will work collaboratively with the people or with the higher authority who is directly or indirectly involved with the project, as a person who knows more, to ask for opinions, to ask for suggestions, and also for them to review my suggestion and my opinion before I actually execute the task being given. So that's me. Thank you very much.
Very well, thank you. Any more attempts from the candidates? Yes,
I
Zaida.
would like to go. Thank you. Again, I would like to see that research is, of course, it's a given. It's a compulsory anything. It's, if you want to do anything, you have to do research. So research, and also I would see, to get off my comfort zone, I would say I would like to go out into the field and to adapt, like say the demographic may be for people in their 30s. So I would like to go out into the field, ask around, and live my life as someone in their 30s would do for a week. Probably that would be interesting, honestly. I like that, living as a 30s. I don't know, that would be fun. I think that's a very interesting approach to write something, to do a project, to finish the task, to actually go and adapt something into my life. Yeah, that would be it for me. Thank you.
Miss, I would
are
like to go.
actually interested in the Turkish, you can go to Facebook. Yes, Miss Avrila, go on.
Okay, so my opinion, if I were to do a copywriting job for different demographics, so as like a copywriter, we focuses on like macam like marketing the products or services to entice them to actually buy the product. I would like to get to know the type of people that they are targeting to buy their products, to buy their services. And like for instance, if I want to sell Barbie dolls to children, I have to know what kind of children that they wanted to sell it, or how to like convince their parents to actually buy those Barbie dolls for their children. And I would also like to make to promote a product that can be not just picked by girls but also boys, because even boys love feminine things. And I guess doing my research about the product, what the client wants me to do, and also the consumer that is about to buy the products and services would actually help to market the product even more. Not just to let them buy the things, but also to educate them about the product itself, that is it safe for the kids, what is the ingredient that is used on the product, if a kid has like maybe chewed on it, is it safe for them? And so I would like to know more about the product and know more about the opinion of the buyers. And also
I'm
client.
really thinking that you are kind of suitable to go back to teaching. Because with all of your examples are very much catering to children and also that demographic. But yeah, interesting kind of reminder. Yes.
Thank you, Miss. That's all from me.
Okay. So if I may move on to the next question. Okay, it is stated in the job advertisement that the work will be remote, so you will be working from home as the position stated. So I would like to know, how do you organize your daily life and also your workspace situation as you'll be working remotely?
Okay, to start off, for me, I'm actually, it's not gonna sound well, but I do consider myself as someone who's actually very organized. I'm not sure about what other people think of me, but I do consider myself as one. So I actually block out my days. I have like a to-do list for every single day, things that I have to do, like on a certain given time. So I will block out all the days, all the timings to complete all the tasks. So I actually have this one app on my phone, a to-do list app. So if let's say I did not finish the task on that day, on a given day, it will actually affect my kind of performance, something like statistics, and I really hate to see that. So it's kind of like motivate me to go and finish the task. So it's kind of like give me an accountability sense of kind of thing. That's for me.
Okay, before
Can I
we
continue?
continue with the next candidate, I would like to know if it is okay if we extend the interview time a little bit to maybe 2:15. Okay, thank you. Mr. Brian, you may.
Okay, so when it comes to working from home, aside from the schedule and the communication with families and whatnot, the one thing that people always forget about is to take a break. So when considering working from home, I always like to consider taking a break from work, because I think it brings more good than harm when we take a break. For example, because it avoids us from being myself, because I have this short attention span, where I tend to easily get distracted from working long periods of time. So in order for me to avoid that is to take a break from time to time. So wherever my schedule is from working from home, I will always prioritize, one of the elements is taking a break.
I would like to go next, Miss. So the requirements are that I have to work from home. So I've seen my dad work from home, and for the past 2 years he changed desk, he changed chairs. And I believe that because we have to be comfortable in doing our work, because for instance, our first experience as a copywriter is not in the office. So the experience that we are experiencing is totally different from other copywriters, which is we are doing work from home. So I guess if we want to actually work better, we have to be comfortable. So for me, it will be kind of difficult to actually experience the real life as a copywriter when we are at home. But I think that by being comfortable and being confident enough in our work, we can actually do it. And sometimes for me, even if I'm comfortable in my room doing my work, I do sometimes cry when doing it because of stress. So I guess being comfortable is actually not just for you to have confidence in your work, but also for you to distress yourself. And also taking breaks, like how the previous candidate said, taking breaks in between works. Like my dad, when he was taking a 15-minute breaks from work, he would actually put a cat on his lap and just like lay back, watch the greenery outside the yard, and just like rub the cat. And then after that, he would do his work again. So I guess I wanted to be more like him when I'm doing my work. He knows how to manage his time, work, being comfortable, and also know when to distress. So that is all for me.
To know that you have a role model to talk to. Other candidates, would you like to comment?
May I? May I? The question is, may you repeat the question, please?
Then may I ask Ms. Noati to proceed?
May I ask you to repeat the question, please? So for me, I think taking a break for working at home is good, because for me, I really stress from working out or running long distance. I participate in MSSD, long distance running, 800 meter and 1,500 meter during my school years. So exercise would definitely help me throughout working lifestyle.
Okay, Mr. Hafizuddin, and also the rest, I am going to repeat the question for the 10th time. Okay, so the question is, how do you organize your day with the work being remote? How do you organize your day when the work is going to be remote, also known as work from home?
Okay, I think may I, Miss? May I continue? Okay, for me,
You
I
may
think
start over.
For me, I think the most important thing is time management. Time management, which it will be daily planner. For me, I wake up in the morning, drink coffee, exercise, and then I read books, and then working out, and then start to do my work at 9 or 10 after that. For me, daily planner is a very crucial part as a working lifestyle, because I had my idol, which is my own dad. He is working at TNB, and he always manage his time very efficiently, waking up in the morning, go to work, go to gym, and then spend your time with your children. So I look up to him. For me, time management is very crucial. That's all for me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for sharing. So is your father working from home as well?
Yes.
All right, so may I start? All right, so for me, to be honest, I I don't have a rigid schedule. I'm actually a very flexible person. So I looked up to Ida that she has a very strict schedule. But for me, my working pace is I'm a very, as I say, very flexible person. Instead of having like at what time I need to do this, I have blocks of to-do lists and percentage. So let's say in this, I set small goals and big goals in long terms. So I think this job aligns with myself and my type of myself as a personality, because let's say in a day I have 5 tasks. So I will prioritize which are the tasks, the main tasks, the small tasks. So I see if the small task can be done in a quick 5 minutes, I will do that small task first, then proceed to tackle the big task in a smaller amount. Because as everyone knows, we need to look after ourselves in order to not have a mental breakdown, to not have a burnout. So I am a person who cannot be too rigid, but I do not let myself let go, which is why I am a very flexible, yet I know what I need to do. I'm a very objective person. So in each month, in each year, I have set goals. So for this, I think it's a job that requires me to be more flexible, because maybe at this certain time, I need to conduct a meeting instead of writing. So I need to know myself how to organize that. So I use my slots in order to shift around, especially since we're working from home, especially during this pandemic. I have learned more how to be flexible with my time while keeping myself from burning out and mentally healthy. So as I said before, my style of work is I have blocks and tasks and goals. So if you give me a task, I will break it down to a more manageable way to tackle it. So I can be flexible in terms like if you need me for a meeting, so I can reschedule myself to fit that slot, to work around the schedule, which I think this job requires me to. It is not an 8 to 5 job like teaching. And even if when during my teaching years, I had to be flexible, even in a very rigid time schedule, because a teacher's job need to be, it needs a lot of elements. I need to create games and tasks and homework. So I cannot be too rigid. If I have finished work, I have to log off. No, I need to know how to pace myself in order to succeed in this field. That's from me. Thank you.
I will look to go next. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, thank you for the question. All right, so I am a morning person. So be it on weekend or weekdays, I will wake up early in the morning. So I believe that is a time saver there already. Secondly, I have a personal planner, a book that is with me 24 hours. So in the planner, I will do a to-do list according to priority. So what has to come first will be at the top of the book, and it's usually written in a very big font so that I can see and be aware of it all of the time. However, despite of all these precautions and methods, I am by nature, I can safely say that I am an organized person, a very well organized person. Even when I am in a situations where I have to go to work, even when I am in a situation where I have to travel to somewhere because of work, I can make it on times. So having the opportunity that allow me to work remotely, that is actually makes me feel more confident about doing my task in a more organized manner. Thank you.
All right, can I continue? All right, so I'll start for my part is that how do I stay organized is that I grew up in a family that everything is quite strict, especially my mom. So I have been told by several people that I am perfectionist and always one step ahead. And this is because of, the training that I received from my mom. And it's always that it's simply like this. You prioritize things that are, you think that a little too heavy. So, and then you don't really I don't really prioritize my break time. I prioritize the work more. So I would do the work more, even though the deadline, maybe it could be a few weeks away, but I would prefer to do it faster. So that's how I work. I would want to finish everything I could, and later on I would reward myself with something. And that is how I keep myself organized. And at the same time, I will write down, of course, I also have my own personal journal where I write down the things I want to do and how I'm going to do it. And I would give myself a deadline when I'm going to finish it. So that is how I stay organized. And I have been doing this for quite some time. And it has been one of the ways for me to work efficiently and stay organized pretty much. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. I believe that we have time for one more question. I would like to know about your salary expectations.
As for me, I am looking at 2,300 per month at the very least. That's for me.
May I speak? So I generally understand the market is offering almost about 2,000 to 3,000, especially for copywriters. And with my knowledge and background in literature, copywriting is almost a second nature. Therefore, I think I can possibly go to 2,000 at least for my qualification, since I'm a fresh graduate. So that's for me.
So for me, the job stated range from 1K to 3K. So based on my qualification and experience, I think I can ask from 2K to 2.5. I think this is a reasonable price range. What would your expectation be, Miss? Because for me, I think based on my job experience, I have knowledge, but because for me, I still feel like I need to learn more. I am willing to lower my expectation, not more than 2K, because of my qualification, and I have already experienced and have gone through several jobs already. So I think I'm more than qualified to ask more than 2K. So that is from me. But I am open to negotiate my salary.
Right, I will have to go next. So based on the description of the job, I believe that I have all the qualifications and skills to fit into all the requirements of the role of the job. Therefore, with that, I will expect a salary of 2,100 a month. Thank you.
May you go
May
next?
I? Okay. So
Okay, you can go next.
go first.
Okay, so based on my experience, I have multiple experiences in writing about something, but I have no experience in marketing or writing about products for consumers. So and I would, for me, I think I would say that I would ask for a minimum of 2,200 to the maximum is like 2,500, because I am lacking in the copywriting department. So I would like to gain more by actually doing this job, and also to use my knowledge from my previous work and also from my freelancing to actually help my writing skills to promote the product and services. So that is all from me.
Okay, from me, I think my expected income would be 1,600 and 200 would be my allowance inside the 1,600. For me, I do not going to work to gain money, but I'm going to work to gain experience. That's all. From me.
Okay, for me, I don't really mind someone as an individual who actually I'm very keen on my salary work ratio, but you know, as a fresh graduate, I don't really mind if my work is if I'm paid less than 2,000, because for this industry, I think that getting experience is much more important, and that is what the aim of why I'm trying to apply this job in the first place, to gain experience.
Okay, thank you very much to all of the candidates. I really appreciate your time for being here today. But before I end the session, I would like to know if there's anything that you want to inquire or anything that you want to add on.
I have
I
one
have a
concern.
question. Oh wait.
Okay.
You may go first if you want to.
How do you prioritize your work-life balance in terms of your, you know, your employees in the company?
If you were to ask me personally, I prioritize my work.
Miss, I would like to ask a question. So, as a copywriter, how do you choose a good client, or like how do you make the product more more unique to the consumer's eyes for them to actually wanted to buy the products?
I'm afraid I may not be the right person to answer the question because I'm a part of human resources. Thank you.
Okay, Miss.
I have a concern. May I ask a question? So I hope to expand my career in the future. So may I know what are the criteria needed for a fresh graduate like me to get promoted in this company? Thank you.
First of all, it's definitely meeting the company's KPI and completing the task as well. And it will definitely be performance based.
So I have a concern, like if I do get a job, would there be any onboarding or orientation? How long will it take? What are the company steps in order to ensure me that I can work here comfortably? So are there any like tutorials that the company will provide me in order for me to perform my best, my level best at this job?
It will be gradually done because at this point, the working is still remote, but training is definitely given.
Another concern, I have marketed myself. I have shown you what I could do, but I would like to ask, what can the company offer to us? Like, what are the benefits of working in this company? How is the working environment?
Okay, remuneration package is definitely going to be offered, and others will be discussed, but definitely not in this session.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so if there is no other points to discuss upon, I would like to thank everyone once again for spending the time, and thank you for applying. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. You'll be contacted within 2 weeks through email and a phone call. Okay, thank you and
Thank you
stay
so
safe.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you
you,
very
Miss.
much.
Right, we've extended, okay, the interview part is over. We've extended the time of the class already, so I'm gonna have to leave for my next session. Okay, so see you guys around.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank
Bye.
you, Miss.
Thank you,
All right,
Miss.
bye.
Bye, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.